1 2. What is this? Microphone check. Yo, what's up, good people? My name is MC Till, and we also have on the Boom Bap chat my brother over there.
Peace, y'all. My name is Profound. What's going on?
Yeah, and it is the Boom Bap chat number 92. If you are tuning in, expecting to see Thurston Howe the third, we are having some difficulties getting him on. So we're going to try to make that happen. But we got a lot to talk about. So if we're unable to get him, we'll reschedule and we'll get through all the stuff that we need to talk about tonight because Profound in like
Yeah,
2 hours Eastern time. I know you out there, you're not on Eastern time anymore. So you got a little bit more time, but in 2 hours, man, oh man, there's some wonderful music dropping. So we're going to talk about that. We also have a new magazine that just dropped, so we can get into that. And if we have time for it, we're going to play the brand new Profound video LSD and talk about that too. So yeah, so let's get into it, man. Tonight, Midnight Strikes. Benny the Butcher's new album supposed to be coming out. Tana Talk 4. Were you a fan of Tana Talk 3?
man. I haven't heard Tana Talk 3. I was just looking for it. And it was like
Oh
I
man,
see Tana Talk 4 up there, but I don't see Tana Talk 3.
I thought for sure. I thought that you had said one time that you were really into 3, but I'm making
I
things
was
up,
in
man.
I was really into that to the one what's the name of this album?
He's put out several. Griselda's always putting out stuff.
I was into that Burden of Proof, man.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one
I
too.
mean, but there's so much music today, man. Like
That is true. It's hard to shift through it all, but the album that I'm really excited about is the new album from Elzai for many reasons.
yeah,
First of all,
yeah.
it's produced by Georgia Ann Muldrow, who's super dope and underrated. And then it's Elzai, man. Like it doesn't get much better than Elzai. I mean, that dude
It's
lyrically is just incredible. Incredible.
what's the name of the album too?
I think it's called Zeitgeist.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
already in my. It ain't ready yet. It's still grayed out in my
Yeah.
Apple Music.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
okay. Man, I cannot wait. The
it's
two
still
singles,
grayed
he's
out.
got two singles out right now, and they sound just so lovely. So
Is he
I can't
like
wait for that.
like? Is he like? Is he like the most underrated? I don't even want to say underrated. I don't even want like. Is he the MC that more people should be talking about that don't?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but you know what? I think people are going to start talking about him because he was with Slum Village for a while. So
Hmm.
like that was kind of his thing. He was with Slum Village. And then after that, he put out a really dope album. But then for a lot of folks, like he didn't put out a lot of content like a lot of artists started putting out content like, year after year, month after month. And he didn't really do that. So there was a lot of gaps over the years. But he has put out an album the last few years. And I think this is like his third album in the last, I think, 4 years, I want to say.
Hmm.
So his output is ticking up. And I think with that, you're going to see people talking about him more in top tens and top fives and all that. Because lyrically, I like who matches him lyrically.
I don't know. That's why I'm wondering why we're not talking about him.
I mean, maybe like Pharaoh Monch obviously is as lyrical as they come. I
Yeah,
can't really think of anybody. Eminem is pretty super lyrical, but the thing about I feel like Elzai's like and Eminem are somewhat similar in some ways, but I
hmm
don't know. I just feel Elzai's music in a way I don't feel Eminem's music. Like technical skill, Eminem's like incredible, but there's something
right.
about Elzai. There's like a soulfulness to Elzai that is just like really connect with.
I was connected. I definitely was. I felt that connection when he was with Slum, right?
Yeah.
But then when Illmatic came,
Mm.
my eyes was like, "Hey, wait a minute,"
Yeah.
and and then as MCs, we're always like looking at things on other MCs that the general public are not really looking for.
Yeah.
And it's like this dude, he checks off every box, checks
Yeah.
off. It's like it's Elzai.
Yeah.
Like, stop it.
That's a good point because he can tell stories. He can do just
Mhm.
battle rap. He can be reflective. He's clever as anyone you'll ever hear, on the mic. And his beat
And the
selections,
voice too.
the voice, he's got a dope voice, real slick with it, and his beat selection is pretty solid.
Yep,
In my opinion, he's never put out an album where it was like,
I
you know,
agree.
yeah. So
Man, I
yeah,
like
so
that Euro pass too, man.
yeah, Europass is dope. Yo, shout out to Marcus, bring him in. Marcus says, I was listening to Twisted Insane yesterday. Dude got mad flow. Very true. Very true. He is. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Also coming out, so we got Elzai, Benny the Butcher. Apparently, Fly Anakin, for all you Fly Anakin fans out there, he's got something. Joel Ortiz and King Crooked supposed to have something dropping. Substance 810, if y'all know about Substance 810, he's pretty dope MC. And I didn't hear about this till just recently. I don't know what this is about, but Napoleon the Legend, who we've actually had on the show, dope MC. He's got an album coming out apparently tonight as well. So be on the lookout for all of those. And then later this month, Peyton Locke. Peyton Locke. I cannot wait for Peyton Locke's new album. We interviewed
Mm,
Dylan on the show. So that's Dylan's
yep.
guy. Rest in peace to Peyton Locke. He's one of the illest. So his out soon later this month. I think next Tuesday actually. And yes, let's bring Marcus back in. He says, I'm ready for Fife Dog. Oh, aren't we all?
Yeah.
Fife is supposed to come out later this month too. And I'm super excited about that. Elzai and
I'm
Fife in
ready
the
and
same
not
month.
ready.
Man. Yeah,
I'm
why are you
ready
not
and
ready?
not ready because it reminds me that he's not here with us
Yeah,
anymore,
I feel
man.
you. I feel you.
So like if it I don't want it to feel like when that Biggie album came out after,
Mm,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It was like there was some dope songs on it, but I don't know if it was the fact that you knew he wasn't here really, and that he couldn't really participate in the completion of it.
Mm,
So I don't know if it psychologically takes away from it for me,
yeah.
but it just reminded me that damn man, Fife not here, bro. Like
Yeah.
you don't ever I don't ever look at a time like we doing the native tongues review that's coming out, y'all. Plug for that too. I don't recall a time till like when getting into the native tongues or any of my favorite hip hop artists that I ever gave a thought to them no longer being with us.
Mm,
And I don't think that I really started to understand that. I think the first time was Trouble T. Roy from Heavy D and the Boys, was
mm-hmm.
one of the biggest things, you know what I mean? But he
Yeah.
wasn't an MC. So
Right.
his impact wasn't as heavy to the masses
Right.
as it would have been if he was like an MC.
Right. Sure.
Then you got Pac and Biggie,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Or Big L probably was the first big, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
whole when Big L died is when you started to it's like, oh wow, these guys are not here. And even when the
Yeah.
Big L album came out, like Primo and DT, digging in the crates, finish putting that together, but it just ain't the same when
Ain't
they
the
not
same,
here.
man.
Nah,
No. No, I
I want
feel
to
that.
hear it. I want to hear it, but it's like, damn, Fife is gone, bro.
Yeah, and I wonder if this album was completely recorded while he was, here on the earth, or if they had to like touch things up, bring in artists to fill in gaps and stuff like that. Because that always feels a little bit weird to me. But if an album is already finished, like the whole thing is done, like then it's like, okay, cool. Like this was a moment in time where this artist gave us something complete. That feels
Mm-hmm.
a lot better. I still feel like, you know, whoever has the estate, with the family, family can make that call if they put the music out. That's, not my business. That's their business. But yeah, if it's recorded and done before they leave, like that feels a lot better. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Marcus, I'm feel you. You right.
yes,
The,
yep.
the the Big L out of everybody, what do they call it till when they had the album after they passed away? What do they call
Uh,
it?
Shoot, I know what you're talking about. Yes,
Yeah. So out of everybody that has one of those, I feel like Big L's was the most complete.
really
I felt
interesting.
like Big L's was the most complete. His to
Huh.
me doesn't seem like, you know, well, I guess because yeah, he had already really recorded to those songs already too.
Yeah.
So it's not like you had some of the even with the last Gangstar album, you had some of those things, that Guru was already on, and they just kind of had to really.
Well, my understanding is they had to like he didn't record any of those beats. That they lifted
Oh
him
wow.
off of other beats. That was my understanding. I could be wrong. So if you're listening right now, you can set the record straight if you know. But that was my understanding that Primo had to go in and handcraft beats to fit those lyrics, which I think he did a really good job overall on that
Hmm.
album. So
I mean, who else would have been able to? Come on.
yeah, exactly. I mean, he's the one to do it. Also coming out soon, not tonight, and hopefully this year. They've started recording. I know you're gonna love this, Profound, but Master Ace announced this week that he is recording with Marco Polo. I think it's called Master Polo, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, so they're back in it, recording. I can't wait for that. That's
I gotta call Ace and give him some
yeah,
trash about that, man. Like, man, how you gonna not tell me, man, so I can be the first to drop the bomb?
yeah, really. Get
Yeah,
some,
that's dope.
yeah, man. I can't wait for that. And if you haven't seen it, Master Ace, he actually posted it on his Facebook. There's a guy, I forget the guy's name, but he does these like really cool documentaries. He just does them himself. Like 10, 15 minutes long. And he did one on Master Ace. And it's really dope. It kind of tells Master Ace's life story, as far as his music career. And so go check that out. And yeah, appreciate Master Ace. He's super dope.
Yeah.
Also, I just saw this before we went live. AZ apparently has a new documentary that's going to be coming out about his life. So
Word.
don't know any details on that, but check that out. Google around for it.
Yeah,
Talking about
Marcus
things
is
that are,
right again too, man. Look at him.
what's that? Yeah,
He
what's
said
that, Marcus?
Machiavelli
Oh,
was the most completed. Yeah, you're right, bro. I
yeah,
stand corrected. You're absolutely right. Machiavelli
yeah.
was the most completed. I forgot how you say that,
Just skim over. You know what's funny? Every time I see that word, I always think pasta noose. So I
Yeah.
always say I think pasta noose from De La Soul.
That'd
Cannot.
be dope, dude. Yo, Pasta Deuce album, man.
Tupac's best album was a pasta noose album.
This Pasta Deuce album. That's a good
Man,
one.
that's hilarious. Um, Speaking of De La Soul,
Man.
they too apparently have an album coming out at some point, supposedly. So can't wait for that.
Nah, man, I'm boycotting that
Why? Because it's just
because
taking too long.
it's taking too long, and they don't all the rest of their catalog. I can't stream. I need to be
Yeah,
able to
yeah, yeah.
stream the rest of the catalog, man. Come
I
on, come
feel
on,
you.
Tommy boy, stop playing.
Well, no, I think it's. I don't think Tommy Boy's holding it up now because I think
I know they got
the
that
music was
situation.
bought.
Yeah, come
So
on,
I don't
De
know
La.
what's going. I mean, it was supposed to come out late 2021, so in the fall. So we're just in the spring, not a year from when they said they were going to do it. So we'll
Okay.
see. We'll see. Um, Also, this week we released our new edition of the Boom Bap Mag.
Oh yeah.
It's a virtual magazine all about boom bap hip hop music. In it, we feature a playlist that you can click to our Spotify playlist and check out the dopest songs from the last few months, or at least ones I think are dope. There's also a list of dope albums that came out in recent months. We also have interviews in there. We have a really dope interview with Kid Abstract, who we've had on the show recently. Really dope MC out from California. And that's a really cool interview. That was a fun one. And then we have a really dope interview with the Juggernaut MC himself, Breeze Bruin. And that was a really insightful interview. He talks about his time working with Prince Paul on A Prince Among Thieves. Talks about what he's learned from, like, he's in the education realm, academia, so he's a teacher. And so what he took from the classroom to the stage, and what he takes from the stage to the classroom. So some pretty insightful stuff there. And I being a fanboy, I had to ask him about some of his work with Juggernauts, and so that was fun. So that's a really dope interview, really insightful interview with Breeze Bruin. That's in there, and also in there, Profound has a piece in there that we're gonna get into at some point. Because a really fascinating story. You want to just share a little bit and give them a little teaser, Profound?
Oh, the Loud Reflection.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
loud refraction.
I wrote a little piece about my time at Loud Records when I had won the record deal with MTV and the behind the scenes that people didn't know, and what happened on the airplane, or what happened when you got there. The little
Yeah.
things that I would ask, certain people. So I did a little reflection on that. That's out now. We got the mag up now, so you can go to
Yep.
boombapmag.com, and you can go check out all of those articles and what we got going on too. It's our little
Yeah.
prelude. It's our, what do we call it? The prelude to like the Native Tongue review that's coming in May, and the
Yeah.
Profound album too that's dropping in May, the same day as the book.
Yeah. May 27th, new book about the native tongues and new profound album, Distant Gratification, which is a great
Mhm.
segue into what we're going to do next. In just a moment, we're going to bring Marcus back in here for his comment, but we're going to play this new video. We're actually going to upload it tomorrow at noon. So you'll be able to watch it anytime you want. We'll have it on Facebook, YouTube, and all that. But before that, I want to bring in Marcus real quick. Marcus says, RZA got a new album out, and I haven't listened to it yet. It's pretty good. It's produced by DJ Scratch. So, DJ Scratch, he knows how to make some beats. So it's pretty good. And my favorite album as of late is Vic Monroe and Tone Spliff have an album, Words to the Wise. And man, loving that album. So shout out to them for making a really dope album. So yeah, so this song we're gonna get into. We're gonna play this video and then have a little discussion around it. The song's called LSD by Profound, produced by Profound. And Profound, who did the video? Who produced the video?
Oh man, my man Torrance Smith and Bird's Eye View Productions, a brother out of Chicago, man. Really good brother, man, and he has shot most of the videos that I had did for this album, and doing big things now, man, and documentaries and all that stuff he's doing now. So
dope. As I pull it up, is there anything that you would want to tell the people about, to be looking for, watching for as we watch it?
I mean, this is a joint featuring my man Reddy from the Usual Suspects, man, and I mean, watch out for the album, man. Watch out for everybody's hip hop and everything we doing. The Boom Bap Review, the new Native Tongues.
Yeah. Cool. We'll watch this. We'll watch this joint and then we'll have a little discussion about it. So this is LSD by Profound, produced by Profound as well. Here we go.
follow no man, I walk with 10. Don't get wet like the water that the dolphins in, cause blood bubbles like the pot that the sauce is in. See, I'm 1 out of 6 that brought the coffins in. The opposite is shedding tears when I lost my friends. Rob T's main hitter that made him ghost and dead. Loyalty to 2 eyes and back a dosage head. Trigger Trice say so many fools life in this nonsense. That's my little brother in this world and my conscience. Democracy, the prophecies fulfilling itself. Every time I play our songs, I be killing myself. A legend, a legacy that stays silky slick. Nobody do the toe-to-toe like filthy bricks and dick and war. My suspect family thick. I'm a planet nigga for life, for my family sick, sick, real.
Yes, yes. That was LSD by Profound. Featuring who's the MC in that joint, Profound?
Ready. My
Ready.
man,
Featuring
ready. Yep.
Ready. I
Just
assume
always ready.
he's always
There was a
ready.
delay in the video, but when we drop it tomorrow, everybody they'll get a better
Oh,
copy.
really? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Well,
there's a
I said
delay
it was on
on
my
radio.
end, maybe on my end. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, and for the podcast listeners that couldn't see the video, you can check it out. Just Google on YouTube everybody's hip hop label, or find us on Facebook, and it'll be up there tomorrow at noon. The beat,
Yep.
you made the beat,
Hmm.
and do you remember making that beat?
I sure do.
Yeah. What was the
Yeah.
inspiration behind that beat? Did you have the KRS-One hook in mind, or did that come later?
Here's what's funny. I did have that in mind. Thanks, Marcus. That's what's up. I did have that in mind because I had used that for a hook on another
Mm,
song from a beat that I produced that just didn't happen to get finished. And
gotcha.
then this was a more complete song and it just fit, and it was just like, because, it's got the KRS and the De La.
Oh, yes, that's
At the
right.
end, I was born with
Yes,
the boom bap.
that's
Remember the
right.
name,
Yeah,
respect the
yeah,
name. Yeah, from the grind date.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I knew when I first heard that song though, I was gonna use that. When
You
he
use that,
said
yeah, yeah.
that, when Dave said that, I was like, oh, I'm using that.
That's dope. That's dope.
Born with the boom bap, respect the name. Like, yeah,
In the video, I assume you recorded it in Chicago.
yep,
Where in
yep.
Chicago were you?
Man, where were we? You know what? We were in the hundreds, man. Like we was in the wild hundreds is what they call the area.
Okay.
It was somewhere off of where the train yard, the trains used to run, and the trains don't run in this particular yard anymore. And that's where we shot that. I don't remember exactly, but I know we was in the hundreds somewhere when we shot that, and it was a little cold too. While we was, hoodied up.
Well, people were feeling it. They thought it was hot. Shout out to Marcus, who says dope song, got that 90s feel to it.
Appreciate
And
it. Love.
Ian Charles, the man that knows the most about hip hop than anyone on the planet, says fire lyrics transition into the chorus flawlessly, on point
Word.
overall. So
Thank you,
I
Ian.
like
Respect.
I like the Michael Jordan cameo in the video.
Bro. Now, that was in the song. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
word.
Like that, I put that there. I
Yeah.
didn't put it in the video. That was Torrance, and I didn't even make reference to him to go get it. He just so happened to really catch what I said, and he went and found the clip to put in the
Yeah.
video. It was dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And just, more tribute to Chicago, such a Chicago
Yeah.
song. And what can you tell us about Reddy, the MC that we saw at the end there and heard at
What
the end?
can I tell? Ready, man. I believe I want to say that I think he's still here. I need to call Ready. I think he's still here in Nevada. He's from Chicago originally too, but
Okay.
and I think he's out here in Nevada now, maybe down in Vegas. But man, just a brother that I happened to meet when my manager Jam was they my manager when he before he was my manager, he owned the studio that I was recording in, and Reddy was a friend of his. So in my
Mm,
days of back and forth going to the studio and just getting familiar with people, and I was always the only person that ever came to the studio alone. Everybody else always had you know, posse with them, friends with them, but I got known as the guy who always came by himself, you know, to the
Mm.
studio. So I was really cool with a lot of. I don't even want to separate the genres of hip hop in Chicago, but I was cool with a lot of people that were probably more on the street level. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
But that was because I was always in the studio. They always saw me working, and you know, a lot of
Yeah.
those guys was recording too. But Ready is just his name is he's really ready all the time
All the
for
time.
whatever it is,
Ready.
how whatever you want, he ready for.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's a dope name too. Ready. And this song LSD is off your album Distant
Mhm.
Gratification, coming out as we mentioned earlier, May 27th. What can you tell people about this album? If you just give them a sneak peek into this album, how would you describe this album?
I would describe it as a collection of works in my travels throughout the country with the producers that I was working with at the time.
Mm,
It originally started out with Doug Infinite producing the entire thing, um, in which he did more than half of the album, but it
yeah.
life had started happening to me and things like that, and you know, money became scarce, so I couldn't fly back and forth to Chicago like I was going to see Doug in Cali, and then it just him and he approved the other songs that I was working on. And he's like, I think that these really fit what we're doing right now, Pro. We should add these to the album. And that's how it became distant gratification.
Yeah.
You know, I put the play off of instant gratification to make it distant because of the travel that I had to go through to get the beats or to do the recording or whatever.
That's dope. And for those that don't know, Doug Infinite is done work with Common. Do you know who else he's worked with?
Man, Doug's worked with Master Ace. Doug is the only producer with 2 tracks on the Long Hot Summer album.
Oh snap! I forgot about that.
You
That's
know, he
right.
did what is that? Big City,
Yes.
the very first
I
song
f-
on the Long Hot Summer.
yes. Man, I forgot about that.
You
Yeah,
know
he
what's
did.
funny about
He
that
did.
too, man? Let's take like Jalen Rose said. Let's take people behind the curtain because they're people that know me know that I know Ace well and I know Doug well. I knew them both and didn't know they knew each other. You know,
Really?
I met Ace because I was working with a company in Evanston who was bringing Ace back and forth, and they were promoting shows and things like that. I was recording at that studio, and that's how I ended up hosting a lot of the shows that they were doing. But I was already
Mm.
working with Doug, so the day that I met Ace, we had him. He was at that was the first time they had brought him there, and I met Ace, and I'll never forget that night. Like I had a set in the show, and I was the MC for the night. Go figure that. So I had a 20-minute set, and I was the MC. So I was on the mic the whole night, basically. And I would never forget. I had moved outside of Chicago, so I was living about an hour away from where we were. So
Yeah.
that night at like 2 in the morning, I'm riding home. My phone rings. It's Doug calling me from Cali saying, "Hey, I heard you just ripped down the metro." Now I hadn't even told him that I had a show up there, and I was like, "How you know?" And he's like, "Oh man, it's got the phone with Master Ace." But I was like, "What?" And then he was like, "Yeah, he was calling to ask me if I knew who you were because I had told Ace, man, I'm working with Doug,
Yeah.
and then that was and Doug vouched for me, and then me and Ace been cool ever since.
Man, that's dope. I love it.
Yep.
Maybe hey, maybe Master Ace will have a profound feature on his new Marco Polo album. You never know. You
You
never know.
never
Got to put
know,
it out
man.
there.
You
Put it
never
out there in
know.
the
But we
universe.
got a Master Ace feature on the Profound album, though.
That's right. We do.
We
I forgot
do.
about that. Who else is on the album?
Man, we got on that song. It's me, Ace, and Craig G, and I
Hey
might be
now.
the only one in Chicago with 2 Juice Crew MCs on the
Yeah,
song.
that's dope.
And Wordsworth is on the album too. Shout out to Wordsworth. That's another good buddy of mine, man. Just the most people talk about being afraid to like meet, the people that they look up to and stuff like that, because they never the way that you expect them to be.
Right. Yeah.
I will say Ace and Wordsworth, even Doug Infinite, even No ID and all of them, because they were already established when I met them,
Yeah.
never treated me like most people would think they, would act.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I've always gravitated to them, even talking to them about more things about life than about music than anything.
Yeah. That's dope, man. It's beautiful. I love that. I love when art you can have a relationship with artists and not just, digest their music, which is fine too. I mean, music is dope, but when you have that relationship, that's super dope. So
Mm-hmm.
cool. So that album, Distant Gratification, we'll be talking more about it. And if you follow either of us or Everybody's Hip Hop label, we're posting about it just about weekly now. So just different tidbits about the album artwork, just different stuff. And like I said, tomorrow we got the new video that some of you just saw, some of you just heard. That's going to be on our Facebook and YouTube page, LSD, produced by Profound, featuring Ready. So make sure you check that out and spread it around. Share the joy with other people, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I wanted to go out tonight on not one word, but just like we did this a few weeks ago, kind of a storytelling session to end it off with a couple albums. I've been listening to this What Had Happened Was this podcast with Open Mike Eagle, and I love this podcast. In this series, this season, he has Dante Ross from, if you remember Dante Ross, he was an A&R for different labels. He produced with the Stimulated Dummies. Anyway, his first artist that he signed was Brand Nubian. So I've been listening, just taking this in. So I wanted to throw these two albums up, Profound, and just ask you what you think about these two albums, and we'll have a discussion about them, kind of in sequence, because they're very different sounding albums. Over here we have Brand Nubian, All for One, and then we have the follow-up, In God We Trust. But for those that don't know, very different albums, because Grand Puba is not on, their sophomore album, In God We Trust. Do you remember these albums when they came out? Like, do you remember
Mm-hmm.
listening to
Mm-hmm.
them? Like, yeah, take us back to that time. Like, were you excited about them?
Man, I don't know if it. Well, yeah, I was excited about them because by that time I was heavily studying. Like, I was really in the knowledge of self at that time. So
Yeah,
I was in the Brand Nubian even though Pooh wasn't around. You know what I mean? Because the Brand Nubian, just the name, it just represented, to me, it represented the 5% Nation, Gods and
yeah,
Earths, like
right.
that. So I was into him regardless. I do remember feeling like something was missing, but then it's like in what dynamic or what context? Because it's like Grant, like Pooh, like I kind of understand after that sophomore album. I kind of understand like why he was just really on his own.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because he had like a different flair and flavor. Really, it
sure.
just was something different. It was just
Yeah,
different.
yeah. I was pretty young, but like I remember I got both of these out. There was few albums that I got like as soon as they came out, as a kid. Because back then you just couldn't get your hands on stuff like today. Like today you can listen to anything, order stuff off Amazon, whatever. But when you're young, don't have a whole lot of money, you gotta beg, your mom to buy stuff for you. So it wasn't like I was getting albums, every other day.
Right.
But I remember these were two albums I got, relatively soon after they came out. And I loved both of them. I think I like One for All better on most days. But man, there's something about this In God We Trust. Like the beats on here are just so hard, and like the bass
And they
lines,
end with punks
you
jump
know,
up to get beat
they
down. Like
end
they
with it.
ended
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I like both albums, so you can't really go wrong. And if you haven't been tuning in, What Had Happened Was the podcast from Open Mike Eagle. He's interviewing Dante Ross. It's a really fun listen to Dante Ross and his stories. So, all right, y'all. Anything else on your mind for the people tonight, Profound?
No, man, man, the Mag, man, please, man. I want to stress to our listeners and everybody that might be listening for the first time, go check out the boombapmag.com. Like, everybody at everybody's hip hop label, like we really put a lot of effort into putting those things together and putting them up for people like you to look at and check out and read, man. So it's a dope little. It's like the mag is like our mixtape before the
Yeah.
albums come out,
Right.
before the books come out. Um, and yeah, man, I just want people to go and check the magazine out, man, and let's look at the articles that we have in there. Look what we got going on, and be prepared for the Native Tongues review, which I'm really excited for, man, because I got a couple more reflections to write for that one too.
Yeah, man.
As
Yeah.
well, we got the album coming out too, and I got a bunch of podcast runs coming up too for the album
Yeah.
too. So yeah, we all over the place right now.
Yeah, man. We're at work. That's for sure. That
Yeah,
is for
we're
sure. So, yeah, cool. Yeah, check out Boom Bap Mag at boombapmag.com. Profound. Anybody you want to shout out tonight?
man. I'm gonna just shout out everybody's hip hop label, man. Our
Yeah.
crew, Io, Stowe, Bo, Mike. You know how we do it. Joe, you, Till, everybody, man. Chicago, my people's in New York and California, Florida, everywhere. Shout out to K Solo too, man. Holla out to K Solo
Yeah.
and the Waste Management crew and the Spartan Academy and all of that, man. And No ID and Doug Infinite too. Yeah, shout out to my people. Master Ace too. Wordsworth.
Right on. Right on. Well, I should have said this at the beginning, but shout out to what's that? Shout out to Iomas Marad, who's usually with us, but tonight he took the night off, man, because he is
School,
hard at work
man.
with his master's education,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, getting his master's. So we are like, yo, you just chill, man. Give your mind a rest. It needs it. So shout out to him, the whole crew for sure. Shout out to everyone that's been downloading and checking for the magazine. Really appreciate you. And as always, man, our faithful guys, Ian. Much
Yeah.
love to you, Marcus. Much love to you as well. Thanks for everyone for tuning in tonight. And yeah, on that note, we say peace.
Peace.
Peace.